Trump, if he goes too far and belittles Fiorina, can fall into the trap of looking like a sexist pig, and that's something that over the long term I'm convinced cannot be good for him. However, if he, and I think you're going to see him do this, if he understands that the way for him to deal with the attacks from Fiorina, that he's sexist, that he's written off the women's vote, that he's insensitive, that he's actually a Democrat, down deep, and all those attacks, and she's going to use all of those attacks, as other Republicans already have. What he's going to do, I guarantee you, is say, you're a woman, you've had some great achievements in your life, but what I'm about to say has nothing to do with that. Your record in business, as a chief executive of Hewlett-Packard, was nothing short of disastrous.
I totally forgot to make the business person versus business person connection.
He's going to say, under your stewardship, your 5 years running HP, their stock price dropped by 50%.
Who owns?
You fired tens of thousands of workers. You had a ruinous merger with Compaq, and you were so bad that you were ousted by the other members of your board.
So he's going to pick on her business skills rather than her as a woman or her as a politician.
He's going to say, I've been misinterpreted about my comments about your face, quote unquote. He's going to claim that. Mm-hmm. And the point is, keep your eye on the ball here. You're a terrible business person, and the country doesn't need that leadership. And you're a failed politician. The only political contest you were in, you lost by 10 points to Barbara Boxer for Senate in California. So that's going to be his line of attack. But he's the kind of guy, and this is why I'm watching this with such interest, who can fly off the handle, who can be drawn out into some detour.
Right.
And if he takes the bait, and he's going to be offered that bait, conventional wisdom is that it would do a lot of damage to him. I think this is a really crucial debate because Trump has to come across as a guy with a little bit of substance, who actually has policy positions on something besides building a giant wall. Mm-hmm. And can talk about other things, can talk learnedly about foreign affairs. Right. Really looks like presidential material. He's got to look like that, I think, on Wednesday night. He's got to look like a guy who maybe people could really vote for. But if he does too much of that, he looks like too much of a conventional politician. And he loses some of his maverick appeal, right? His outsider appeal. So how do you combine those two things? You have enough gravity to be the big boss, but also being different and having a different brand from the other 10 people next to you on that stage.
Well, here's another question going back to the debate. Obviously, we saw how feisty the last one became, especially between Megyn Kelly and Donald Trump.
And partly because of really great questions from the
Fox.
So
how do you think CNN is going to approach this?
I personally don't think they're going to be as good.
They're not going to be as good?
I don't think so. They have two guys up there.
Yeah.
They have Jake Tapper, who's a solid middle of the fairway kind of guy.
Right.
He's not going to ask I don't think any totally creative zingers. I hope I'm wrong. And you have Hugh Hewitt, who is the same guy who got in that contretemps with Trump about how knowledgeable he was.
We talked about last week, where he basically, Trump accused him of giving him a pop quiz. Which I think that could be the next act. If there's going to be banter between a moderator and a candidate, it'll probably be between Hewitt and Trump. Trump will probably call him out on that.
Maybe.
Or they might have Hewitt ask him again about foreign policy.
Hewitt's going to definitely do that. He's a sharp questioner. And if those are the only two questioners out there, I don't think it's going to have quite the same electricity. Maybe I'm wrong, because I think these other candidates are going to get into it among themselves, quite separate from whatever questions they're given.
Right.
I think you're going to see them go at it because some of these guys are getting desperate now. They're going to be out just like Rick Perry's out a month from now for the very next debate, unless they make some inroads. So if you're Christie, or if you're